All right, welcome to this open house for George Brown College School of Design, and this particular info session for both interaction design programs, which we call Interaction Design G113, and Interactive Media Management G412, which is our postgrad program related to interaction design. My name is Xavier Massé. I'm the academic coordinator for both these programs, and it's my pleasure to have you with us today and this morning. So let's start this presentation. I usually ask, tell where we are when we are on campus, and I think that you might have, you might have had already a presentation about that. So I will skip these slides quickly. It is a beautiful view of our campus inside. So I'll skip right through the question that I usually get, which is what is interaction design? In the world of different design disciplines, there are various sectors that you can pursue. Architecture, graphic design, fashion design. Interaction design is an interesting one of the newest to be explored. So we'll try to answer that question. What we do at Interaction Design is we try to design and make the interfaces that allow users to interact with complex systems. And we find those complex systems in all different sectors. And as those systems are becoming more and more digital and available to users on various devices, they need user-friendly, easy-to-use interfaces, and that's our job, is to design those interfaces. But in order to do that effectively, we need to understand how the systems works behind them. So whether it's for a product, a service, or a brand experience, if you're in advertising, for example, it still requires to understand the process behind those different interfaces, whether they are on mobile, desktop, or in full immersive environments like virtual reality or augmented reality. So in order to do that, we need to do something what we call user experience. We start with that. User experience means that we try to understand how users interact with those systems. So there's a bit of psychology going on there, but there's also a bit of we teach techniques and processes how to observe and take notes and visualize what we observe. We do a lot of mapping. We do something called persona making, building, where we summarize the attributes of a typical user representing a larger group, and design a typical user that's going to be our guinea pig, testing the different interfaces and digital properties that we are going to create, like an app or a website, and we'll have those typical users as our testers. We do a lot of mapping. This is a scenario, a journey map or a storyboard, trying to imagine the flow that's going to happen between users and systems. We do a lot of visualizing in order to understand how this could possibly become. This was for an environmental project where we were imagining a food truck that was delivering food autonomously with attached to an interface like an app, so you could order your food and it would come to your house. We did that a few years ago. You can see that's pretty timely now. So our students, as they do this work, and this applies, by the way, to both programs this time. I'm trying to explain the overall process here, what we go through and what we learn, and I'll get into more details about the two curriculums later on. One is on 3 years, and the other one, the postgrad, is in 3 semesters rather. So anyway, this is a good example here of a concept board that our students are making, where they put together this board where they explain how their concept is going to work. We prototype as well, so we don't just do the research, the design, we also start to make what we imagine. There's a lot of UI, as we say in our profession, so user interface design. That's the next step after UX. UX is the research part, user experience. Then we go into user interface design. So imagining those actual interfaces visually. This was for an app that and a website a graduating student did last year, related to a brand of tequila. We sometimes also work with the tangible physical world and imagine how technology is embedded in those elements. This was for a wearable, collecting energy using solar panel and then feeding a device and an app. This is a program where we learn a lot of different type of skills, whether it's UX related, UI related, a bit of coding as well, front end, as we call front end coding, which is the beginning of the making of the interfaces we have imagined. So yeah, it's pretty dense, and we've been able to adapt this rhythm to the online remote learning quite easily, which has been the case in the past year. Very often I get asked, okay, well, so what do I become when I come out of an interaction design program? So here are our three families here of type of profession and job you could apply to. So the three families are UX research and UX design, which comes at the very forefront of a project, understanding how those systems are designed and understanding how users interact with the systems. UI design and content creation, which is the middle segment of my slide here. It's more about visualizing those interfaces and populating them with rich content. What is rich content? We talk about video, motion graphics, animations, photography, illustrations, and then UI, user interface design. There's a level of graphic design and branding applied to the digital world. And then the third one on the right is front-end development, which is mastering the languages that are required in order to start to make and build those interfaces. So we try our programs based on these three main pillars, whether it is the undergrad three-year interaction design G113 or the postgrad G412 in 3 semesters. All in all, we like to think of ourselves as creative technologists. That's what I usually call our students. They are creative people who are curious how to know how technology works and how it also is becoming more and more part of our everyday lives, and then trying to also understand the other side of technology, the ethical side of it as well, when you talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are elements that are required to understand how a system works, but also it requires to understand how it could also impact our lives on a daily basis. The industry is now very interested in interaction designers, and there are a variety of different roles you could play in the industry. On the right-hand side in black, you see a list of the job descriptions and job titles that you could apply to. It's not an exhaustive list. There's more to that. And then on the right, in yellow, you have an exhaustive list of potential brands and firms and names of firms that could hire those people. You'll see retailers, you'll see financial institutions, you'll see media institutions, you'll see full 100% digital big brands like Google, Snapchat, and Shopify. You also see a couple of gaming studios and some very interesting and full interactive media and design studios like Jam3, Avanade, Moment Factory, and so on. So these are like creating full digital experiences for the industry. So if we look at the 3-year program a little bit more in depth, G113, this is our 6 semesters. Um, uh, Things to know is that semester 1 and 2, which is year 1, is actually repeated. We have a cohort that starts in September, and we have a cohort that starts in January as well. So this is the only year that is sort of repeated back to back. Everybody gets to start semester 3 the next September, all at the same time. So after semester 3, we only have one cohort and several sections of it. um, a lot of those courses are actually prerequisites to each other. It's very important to understand that courses like, for example, in semester 1, like information architecture is a prerequisite to information architecture 2. In semester 2, and then semester 3, interface development 1 is a prerequisite to interface development 2 in semester 4, and so on and so on. Overall, referring to the slide I showed you earlier, which is UX, UI, and front-end development. So basically, those courses that you see here sort of like reflect this structure between UX, UI, and front-end. I just want to focus a little bit on the last year, which is semester 5 and 6, where there's a couple of things that are important to know there. You'll notice that there's a course called Portfolio 1 and Portfolio 2, or Field Placement. That means that if students pass Portfolio 1 with a 75%, they can apply to Field Placement cohort internships instead of Portfolio 2 during the semester 6, on top of the other courses. And the other things that I want to say about the last year is that there's a lot of hands-on labs like immersive media, where you learn how to create media for augmented reality, virtual reality. Device development 1 and 2 are courses that dedicated to coding, front end, and it could go a bit further in depth for students who want to explore more interesting frameworks like Unity or React, or this kind of framework, which will allow them to create the prototypes that they are supposed to do during this last year, which is a year where you as a student have the opportunity to create your graduating project that is a well developed prototype. And we built this last year with semester 5 and 6 to support this graduating project. Just do a quick little pause here to look at the chat, see how long this program has been in the college. This program has been in the college now for, I believe, 5 years. I think that's my, I've been, I think maybe 6, because I've been coordinating for 5 years, this program, and I think it was existing for a year before that. So I would say between 5 and 6. I don't have the exact number of that. I could verify that, but not under 5. That's for sure. I'll keep going. Another question is this program available for part-time? No, you have to be a full-time student to do it. You have to, 3-year program at the college, at the School of Design, 3-year programs have to be done under 5 years. So you could extend it a little bit by missing some courses that you will have to take the next year, which pushes back your number of semesters you're going to be with us, but it has to be under 5 years. So technically, it's not a part-time program. How to apply to G113? You have to have secondary school diploma or equivalent. It was great to have English or equivalent. Get your student number, go to our website, fill up our questionnaires. Portfolios are not mandatory. They are optional, but they are recommended. If you do have one, there's actually an optional field to put your portfolio in. A portfolio for this program is showing us your curiosity in the program and your curiosity in design, and then collecting a few pieces that you've been working on in the past, whether they don't have to be interactive. It could be about art, digital art, but a paper you wrote, just to show how curious and motivated you are to join our program. Then the questionnaire is sent to me, the program coordinator. We review them, we score them, and then if the score is good, then an offer is sent to the candidate. And when the candidate accepts the offer, it starts the enrollment process. Don't think I have time to show you some highlight reels. I might do it during the Q&A at the end, just to give a sort of a background video as we talk. Just want to talk a little bit about the postgrad program G412. So what I just explained about interaction design, imagine this condensed in 3 semesters rather than 2.5 semesters. So the media production courses is where you learn how to do motion graphics and create rich media, as I was explaining earlier as well. 3D design 1 and 2, it's exploring the world of 3D. For the postgrad, we do Cinema 4D, SketchUp, a bit of Rhino and Blender, which is also the case for the previous program as well. Just wanted to say one thing about the way the semesters are structured. For the postgrad, they are repeat between semester 1 and 2. They're identical. An intro part of those 7 courses in semester 1, and a more advanced part of this courses in semester 2. In interactive design and systems 1 and 2, that's where we do a lot of UX and understanding how, and system thinking, how to understand how systems works and how users interact with them. Interactive production projects, where we bring capstone project in these programs. That's a unique feature of this program as well, as we actually go and work with the industry in order to bring R&D projects and capstone projects in the program, even from or as early as the first semester, and it goes on like this for the whole year. Prototyping is a really interesting course that teaches about digital prototyping and physical prototyping. And production management, well, since it's a management course as well, so it's for students who are a bit more mature, we teach a bit of about budget handling, timelines, and managing projects and teams, a bit of psychology of how to understand how people work together. Collaborative work online is very important to actually understand how that works as well, because those students coming out of these programs should be ready to enter the industry almost as a management level in a digital interactive team. And I'll show some example of works immediately after this. Just to finish on the third semester, we have a little bit of the same mechanic between in portfolio that you just saw in the other program. Here it happens between semester 2, media production 2. If you pass this course with a 75, then you can, instead of doing studio entrepreneurship, you can apply to field placement co-op internships instead of studio entrepreneurship in semester 3. The interactive experiential thesis course is a mandatory course to work on a thesis project that will be presented to a professional panel, and that's mandatory in order to graduate from this program. So that's a sort of very highly condensed view of the postgrad program. I'll skip the video. How to apply to IMM. Well, you have to have a college diploma or demonstrated competencies from previous experiences. Student number. Apply to through our questionnaire on our website. Here, the portfolio is mandatory, it's required. And what are we looking for in a portfolio? Well, we're looking for previous experiences, showcasing your motivation and your curiosity about this program and this field in particular. I was listening to the previous presentation where they were saying that they were receiving welcoming students from all kinds of different backgrounds. It's the same here. Every year we do have students coming from other design disciplines, but not only, they're coming also from psychology. We have had students coming from nursing, education, were previous profs, computer science. So a variety of large variety of different backgrounds, and they want to learn all about the interaction design process. So showcasing your past experiences and how you are curious about to know how about the world functions. That's what we're looking for in a portfolio. It's the application sent to me. I do make a point of making and having a review of your portfolio on a one-on-one interview. And then the application is scored. If the score is good, then it's an offer is sent to the student. And then when the offer is accepted, then it starts the enrollment. When you are a full-time student at the School of Design at George Brown College, you do get access. It's based on a material fee, but we do offer a variety of software and access to resources like tutoring and then other type of software. Plus, for our program in interaction design, we also offer some web hosting for the duration of your stay, a subscription to a great magazine called Wired. If you don't know about it already, check it out. It's all about technology and culture. And an Arduino kit, which is a microprocessor board, because we do also tap into, as you've seen, into the digital world connected to the physical world. I'll skip this one. This is more for students who are joining us. What's a day in the life of the students. We still do some events online when we collaborate with other schools, and then do design jams and charrettes. This is a very exciting moment where we get to work with other type of schools on a brief, on a project in a very limited time. So that's always an exciting moment in the life of the school. I'm just going to go through a few slides here of some examples of work that we've been doing with both programs. The Year-End Show was a very exciting moment in the life of the School of Design. This year it's online, and I think you've been given the link to yeah, Cindy, yes? You're muted, I can't hear you.
Hi, Xavier. We just wanted to make sure we get to the Q&A section of the portion of your presentation.
Okay, so that means that's the end of it? Cindy, is it means that I'm at the end of my time here?
You have about 2 to 3 more minutes, so if you have any questions that you would like to answer, feel free to do so.
Okay, so I'll look at the answers here. I have received an email from you stating that my application was processed. Can you please explain what you meant by this application? Well, if you, Edward, I'm not going to use the time I have here for everybody who's connected, but if you want to send me an email, I'll be happy to give you a very precise status on your application. Absolutely. So, and I believe that my email should be somewhere, or I can give it to you here, and I'll do that right now. Are there any other questions that you want me to answer? I don't see any other questions here except for this one related to an application in particular. So yes, I think that sums it up. I'll do some more. Hello from Bolivia. My name is Paulo. Can a graphic designer enroll in G405 digital design game design? Oh, that's not my program. Tech 2 program. So the programs that just presented are available for international students. Absolutely. And we do have at the college and the School of Design people who represent international students. So if you want to be in contact with those people, we could put you in contact with those people. But the answer, yes. International students are welcome. Is this program available for international students? Are there any specific requirements for a portfolio? Portfolio, as I was mentioning, we're looking for people who are willing to see what you've done previously. If you're not coming from a design background, that's not a problem. You can showcase your previous experiences by posting papers, research papers, or if you come for a computer background, any type of applications or website you've programmed before. Yes, we do welcome students from all kinds of different backgrounds. So the portfolio is really to present your previous experiences and your motivation in joining our programs. You're welcome. Okay. If there are any other questions, there's a lot of physical installation here because you're seeing on the presentation, because they're always fun to have during a year-end show. But you'll see that we do a lot of digital interfaces as well, whether it's for augmented reality apps that are being made for various experiences. So